Well, I am back. My camping trip is over, so welcome back everybody. Silas here. We are headed back out to the junkyard. I have no clue what is waiting for me when I get out there. I've got to get my kayak out of the truck. I'm gonna run by and get me something to drink, and then we'll get out there and see what's there. I have not been there in a week, so I might have quite the surprise waiting on me. Honestly, it's not as bad as I expected it was gonna be. Looks like my dad did a little bit of crushing while I was gone. Let's see what he crushed. Trailblazer, Buick or something. I don't know what that is. I might have crushed this one, so maybe he didn't crush much. I can't remember what I did and didn't crush now. He left a catalytic converter out at some point. Oh, it's empty. That's why. I can hear it echoing inside. I was gonna say there's no way he just left a catalytic converter laying there. Looks like there's a few cars came in while I was gone. Not too many. And it's a little bit muddy out here. They got a boatload of rain. On my camping trip, all the rain went around us. It went to the north, it went to the south. We got one light sprinkle for about 20 minutes one day. But here, oh boy, they got a drencher. I would just stay off of it and not mess with it, but it's supposed to rain more later this week, so can't wait all week, I mean. Anything good come in? Doesn't really look like it. Just more junk. Junk. These were all here before. What's this one, a Mini Cooper? Huh, I don't think I've crushed one of these yet. That'll definitely be a first. I've never even seen the inside of one of these. Well, that's kind of cool. These are junk cars. You never hear anything good about these, but they're kind of cool. Got the tack in front of you and the speedometer over here with the radio, and I don't know if parts on these are worth anything or not. What year is this car? This is a 2010. Crazy to think this thing's 15 years old. Old junk. These over here, most of these were here when I left last week as well, so I really don't think it'll take me that long to get caught up, get all these crushed, and then we can start working inside the fence again. I didn't make it very far in there. I just made it right inside the gate. Didn't even make room to park the loader in there. Looks like this truck, somebody must have hauled this one out by weight or something, because it's packed full of iron. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty soft right here, so I don't know that I'm gonna be able to get in here today, but maybe if it dries out a little bit, I'm gonna get in here, go ahead and get that stack out of the way, maybe pull that trailer out, and then kind of work that direction. I don't know what I want to do yet. We'll figure that out later. So I guess I'll hop in the loader and start going through, and I assume he pulled the catalytic converters off of these cars already, but I need to double check. What do we got here? A Lincoln and a Toyota maybe? I don't know what this is. Yeah, Toyota Avalon. Need to get in here and mow. It's getting overgrown. How did my stuff that I put in here to keep dry do? Oh yeah, it did fine. Well, that's what's up. Looks like everything is good to go. Let's get the equipment fired up. Looks like all the aluminum wheels are still on, so I got the impact with me. We'll get busy crushing. Lep should be here in a little bit. I'm gonna have him pull the transmission and clutch pedal assembly out of this S10 and that Blazer over there. Both of those are 5-speed trucks. The Blazer, that one is sold. A guy has traded me like a 69 or 70 model Dodge D5 or 600 dump truck for it. I was gonna cut the nose off and crush it, but he swooped in at the last second and saved it. Well, it's looking a little bit different out here now. Everything's gone. It's all gone except for a bunch of aluminum wheels. Got quite a few loads stacked back there now. I think there's almost 7 loads on the ground. So coming along pretty nicely. I got 1 car left over there, but then that's it. So I guess it's time for us to open up that gate once again. That wasn't bad. It only took us 3 hours to get rid of everything out here, so I thought that was pretty good. We got that tractor in earlier. It's a little Ferguson, I think it is. I guess I'll put it on Marketplace for like 600 bucks, see if I can find a home for it. It's complete, the engine turns. Guy said it just needed new spark plugs or something in the timing, new points or something, it wouldn't fire anymore. We'll give it a shot, if not we'll crush it later, but for now, let's get this gate open and get busy. Bonk. I'll go ahead and grab these out of here. I want to mainly focus on going that direction. But like I say, I got these 2 here. It just make me a little bit more room of getting stuff in and out of this gate without worrying about having to hit it. Now obviously it's got these big tall posts sticking up in the air, so those are kind of a pain anyway, but this just gives me a little bit more wiggle room, you know, if I really need it. I can't believe how much water weight is in these cars. Every time I roll one over that's been sitting for a little while, bunches of water comes running out of it from the trunk. And this car here actually was clear full of water. But when you're pulling these catalytic converters with the loader, sometimes it's about knowing where the pressure points are. Now you can't always get them to pop off all the way super easy, but usually you can get them off fairly easy if you know exactly where to put the forks. Like that one there, the front popped right off. Normally I pop them off behind the converter, but this one here, the muffler's so rusted, I'm just gonna do that, and we'll cut it down with the Sawzall here in a little bit. Then it's got one more up here at the front. Let's see here, this one's a little bit trickier to get to, especially with this loader. This loader's a little bit harder to control than the other ones, the older ones. New and improved technology, they say. Everything's controlled by the computer, so there's a delay. But yeah, you just put the fork right there. You see it popped loose. Now you just stop there. If you get too violent and too crazy, you'll bust the converter. And which that happens sometimes. That's just part of life when you're using a loader to pull catalytic converters. But if you take your time and put the fork right about there, should pop. Yep, perfect, just like that. And now this converter should just come right out of there. Just like that. Boom. Is there a second converter on this? I don't think there is, but let me make sure. I can't remember if these have, oh yeah, it does have a second one up here. I couldn't remember. It's been a while since I've had an old Nissan like this. There we go. A little bit violent, but we got her out of there. And just like that, all 3 converters are off. And the way you check under the hood is you just come up here and you push on the edge of the fender right beside the hood. Kind of peel it down like that. Then you can get the fork right in there. Kind of peel it up a little bit. And you can slide on in like so. And then you just give a good yank. Just like that. Peel it up over to the side. And what do we got? We got nothing. The battery is already gone. So we'll go ahead, close this back down just like that. And so while that Nissan needed everything, this one here is 100% ready. So when my dad put some of these in here, he already drained them and the whole 9 yards. So we'll just put that right there. That's going to be the crusher row, stuff that's ready to go. We'll line it up, and when we get enough, we'll fire the crusher back up and crush another load or 2. I don't like to just let the crusher run when I'm not going to be crushing back to back. It puts a lot of hours on the machine. It doesn't use that much fuel, but I'd rather just take it easy on the machine. They last a lot longer when you take care of them and you don't just let them idle all day for no reason. Let's grab a good derby car out of the pile. A derby car that nobody wants to pay for. Everybody wants to pay for them, but they just don't want to pay enough for them. And I'm just the middleman, so I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to beg the owner, beg my dad to sell them for less money. If somebody was to say, hey, you talk him into selling these cars for X price, I'll give you $100 a piece for your time, then maybe I'd be more persuaded. But when they want me to do a bunch of legwork for them for nothing, I mean, what's in it for me? I'm not trying to sound greedy, but I mean, at the end of the day, I got plenty of other stuff to do. I don't need to be working for free for other people that I don't even know. There we go. Our old loaders back in the day, the forks were a lot closer together, and so I could actually, when I would go through the windows, they'd be, you know, my right fork would be right about here, and my left fork would be right about here. and so I could go all the way through both sets of windows, stick out the other side. Never really had an issue with roofs ripping off, but now with these wider forks that we use, they're a lot better for moving bundles and stuff around, but if we're going through windows, you got to be careful because you'll lose your load in a hurry. This Ford van looks like it might have a set of hubcaps on it that are worth saving, and maybe there's some other parts, I don't know, we'll look at it when I get it out. Slide it out of here. The whole roof is smashed in and it's full of water from all the rain, and so I'm trying not to dump it on my camera. This gate's bigger than I thought it was. I just backed out through the gate with this van at an angle and it fit fine, so it's probably, from post to post is probably 20 feet, and then the gates are right inside that, so I'm saying that it's probably 19 and a half feet or so. Looks like all 4 hubcaps are on it anyway. Go around to this side. Oh, that one there's kind of smashed, but still it's got 3 of them on it. Oh man, that door there doesn't even try to bud. There it goes, okay. Been sitting a lot of years. It's got mold and moss growing inside it. Yeah, I bet this instrument cluster is worth saving. Just an AM radio, that's probably just junk, and don't really see anything else, so yeah, probably 3 hubcaps and an instrument cluster. What are these funky little things? Says record, detach. Oh, record and detach. Okay, record and detach. I don't know. Little metal tags, those are kind of neat. Huh. Look at how rusty this floor is. Shows you how long it's been sitting. Just completely rotted to nothing. That's wild. There's a few oldies coming up in here. Got what's left of this old Ford. About a 60, this would be a 67 with no side marker lights on it. Yeah, it's got the 67 instrument cluster in it. Nope, radio is gone. The radio and the radio bezel on these things is 1 year only. Fairly valuable piece. That looks like it's a half ton, so it's probably got a, yeah, it's got a 9-inch, and some of these 67s had the, what's it called, the nodular 9-inch. Those are worth a little bit of money, so I'll have to check that for sure. So yeah, we'll set that aside when we get it out. Then we got a Silverado underneath it. A lot of good parts on that one still. And then another square body here. Obviously the roof is crushed in, so it'll just be junk, but we'll probably cut the nose off of this one. I guess the roof is not crushed in. Oh, this is a crew cab. I see now, this is a crew cab. Cheyenne Super. Huh. We'll look it over when we get it out, but honestly, it's probably going to be a crusher. Is it a big block? It is a big block. So yeah, we'll check that out when we get it out as well. When that got put in the pile, it was even more worthless than they are now. Every now and then you'll see one of these crew cabs pop up that runs and drives, you know, and it'll sell for, you know, $4,000 or $5,000. But beyond that, they just don't have a whole lot of following. We got a Ford here. This looks like a early 80s, and then a late 80s Ford up there. So we'll look at this early 80s truck here. It looks like it's a extended cab short bed. You don't see that too often on the older ones. You see it all the time on these newer ones like this, but you don't see it on the early ones. This is a little bit of a challenge getting these out of here. Once I get started, it won't be a big deal. Then I can get going, but get these first few rows, since they're all put in from the other direction. Whew, that was... let's see here. I'm hoping I can pull this Durango out. Or maybe the van with it, I don't know. There we go. Yeah, we're going. Bingo. Okay, I'm getting bound up. I'll set it down. Whew. Those cars that were on top of it just fell, but that's okay. We're getting them out of here. Once I get that that Suburban dug in, not the Suburban, but that square body oh, what's the name? Crew cab. Man, my brain is slipping today. Once I get that crew cab dug out, we'll be golden. Because at that point in time, I'll have plenty of room to operate and work and go whatever direction I want to. Oh, this is a Durango RT. 5.9 liter. That was a hot little SUV back in the day. Not worth anything now, but you know, once upon a time, that was a pretty fast one. Making progress. Yanked another one out of the pile. Doesn't look like anything good on this one. This is that short bed extended cab, but it's a rot box. Maybe the wheels are worth something to the Derby guys. We'll see. Now we can see this crew cab a little bit better in here. I'll have it out tomorrow. Oh, somebody put a dually rear end in it. It's got a flatbed, 3+3. Looks to be pretty well complete. Obviously I can't open the door with the van on top of it. I don't even know what's down in here. Oh, years ago they came out here and were stealing catalytic converters, and it looks like they abandoned their hacksaw, whether intentionally or accidentally. That's pretty funny. Yeah, we're making real good progress. I'll come in here and I'll probably get this van out of here and then try to slide this out of here. It's underneath these cars, but it is a flatbed, so it should just slide right out of there. I'll set it to the side. Those two trucks there I'll set to the side, and that'll open up quite a bit of room in here to where I can probably come in here and start grabbing these cars through the window or through the back window and getting them out of here and just work along this fence and get to those bundles that are back in the corner. I should be able to get quite a bit of that done tomorrow. For sure by the end of the week we'll be back there in the corner, have it all cleaned out and have more room to stack bundles. By then, out back where I'm stacking bundles, we're going to be pretty low on space. It's crazy how fast this is drying out right now in this hot, dry wind. This is all dark dirt a second ago and it's already turning gray. I'm going to gather up catalytic converters now, but tomorrow we'll fire up the crusher first thing and we'll get all these crushed, and then got a pretty good pile of crushers over here. Burn through a bunch of these real quick. This van here, I thought about cutting this side off of it. Right here where it says Schmidt Paint and Vinyl. I mean, it's not that old, but it's fairly old and it's got a good looking logo on it. I think it's just, yeah, it's just vinyl stuck on there, but still, I think it's kind of cool. It'd be easy to cut off. Does this side, yeah, this side has it as well. This one would be really easy to get off. It's got Bardo. I don't know who that is. So yeah, I think we'll just get the whiz wheel out and slice those off of there real quick. For sure this side, because it's so easy, and probably the other side too. Bunch of loads. By the time prices go back up, hopefully, we should have quite a few loads on the ground. I can take some loads back here and stack them a little bit further, I guess. I don't know. I was trying not to put anything back here, but I guess I can start stacking more bundles here. Whew, it's a little bit chilly. I don't have to get my coat on. I can't do this. It's hard to believe we were out here drenched in sweat yesterday. And now today, it's about 30 degrees. Well, no, actually it's almost 40 degrees cooler right now than what it was yesterday at the high. It's supposed to warm up a little bit, but still, not quite time to put the coat away for the season just yet. I'm filming this at the beginning of May. I don't know when the video will actually come out. I'm a little bit behind on editing right now. I'm trying to get caught up. I want to get back to doing 2 videos a week, but right now I'm still at 1 video a week, and I'm filming like 2. And counting the second channel, I'm filming like 3 a week, so it doesn't take long to get behind when you're filming 3 and posting 1. But that's okay, because once it gets up into the 90s and 100s every day, which is, it's coming, once it gets to that point, I probably won't record nearly as much. But Lep should be here in a little bit. I'm gonna have him help me gather up all these aluminum wheels. We have a million wheels all over the ground. And then I'll have him pull the transmission out of this GMC. But I guess while I wait for him to get here, I'm gonna fire the crusher up and go ahead and crush all these that we have ready. While everything's warming up, I had a ton of people saw pictures of these 2 extended cab Fords, and I put them on Facebook last night. And I had people saying I'm absolutely crazy for crushing these things, that they're loaded with good parts. But if you look at these things, I had one guy say that these covers on these back windows are about 200 bucks a pair, and there's 2 pairs here, so that's $400 I'm throwing away. I looked them up on eBay. You can buy these for like 50 bucks. I mean, that's for ones with good paint. This in here obviously is gonna need repainted, so and that was 50 bucks or best offer, and it wasn't sold. So really, I think you're looking at more like 50 or 60 bucks for the pair of these, and they're a lot of work to pull. Which leads me to the point that what people think stuff is worth and what it's actually worth are 2 totally different things. I do know that I crush a lot of good stuff that I probably shouldn't crush, but at the same time, I don't know, I don't really care. I have so much on my plate that I don't have time to care about every little thing. That one there's got 1 lug nut. The other day I had a car and I was bouncing it and bouncing it and bouncing it. Couldn't get it off of there because there was 1 lug nut left on it on the other side. Like I had somebody say that these Durango RT wheels are worth good money, but man, I don't know. It's very hard to sell wheels around here. I mean, you're doing really good to get scrap price out of a set of aluminum wheels, and you almost have to take payments on them to get that. So you're almost just better off chucking them in the dumpster. So I'll think about it. I mean, these are pretty rough wheels in the first place. Honestly, I don't feel like messing with it, so I'll probably chuck them in there. If I took them off, took the tires off, cleaned the wheels up a little bit and put them on eBay 1 at a time, I could probably sell them for good money. But man, that's just a lot of work. This truck here, I asked several Derby guys if they were interested in these wheels, because I know sometimes this style of wheel sells, but they all said that these are just junk, crush them. So that's what we'll do. When we're gathering up wheels, I'll come back here and get these, and I got some radiators over there, and I'm gonna start stacking bundles back here, I guess. Some of these vehicles in here, not very many, but like, oh, where's it at? I don't even see it now. Maybe I got them all shipped out when I shipped out those loads before, but there was a few cars I bought by weight that I paid more 4 weeks ago for than what I'm getting now. That's how much they've dropped, like 70 bucks a ton. So they are not holding up good at all. I promise, I know how to spell please. But I'm right-handed, so I was writing with my left hand, sideways at an angle, and I don't know how I skipped the E, and I was just going straight for the A. Anyway, if you have not subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so if you enjoy this type of content. Don't want to miss anything, be sure to like this video, drop a comment, tell me what your favorite part is. All that stuff helps it in the algorithm. If this is your first video and you don't normally watch my stuff, we do car crushing content, we do junkyard explorations, we do treasure hunts where I dig through the cars and find cool stuff. You just never know what we're gonna do next. I also have a second channel for those that are subscribed to this channel where I do behind the scenes stuff, I do some outdoor adventures. Every now and then I do some work on junkyard cabin at the yard. Ooh, that crushed flat. But yeah, the second channel is called More Adventures Made from Scratch. And if you just like watching short form content, you can subscribe to Short Adventures Made from Scratch. So we got 3 channels, whatever you want to subscribe to, or you can subscribe to all 3. Now we'll crush these 2 together, see how flat it can go. Pretty flat. That'll make a good top bundle. Check out this old Acura. I bet this was a cool car when it wasn't all mangled. It's way too far gone now. I doubt there's any good parts left on this one. Engine's been exposed to the weather, getting rained in. You don't see these little body Acuras that often anymore though. It used to be super common, but they're kind of catching on now. It looks like this one was wrecked. That's probably why we got it. So I bet it ran once upon a time. But like I say now, it's been filling with water inside and outside and under the hood and everything else. So definitely toast. And then underneath that we had a Geo Metro, and then over there we have a Daewoo Lanos. That's a super rare car, not worth anything, just complete garbage ready for the crusher, but just a really rare car. This Mustang was free. It's a stripped out shell. The guy bought it for a parts car, completely gutted it, just a bare body and axles, but still, for the price of free, can't complain. Check this out that just came in. This is pretty cool. Just an old sign, nothing special there, just junk. But this is one of those signs that the lights would kind of blink, 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 kind of sequential, you know? I was looking inside it, and right there's the controller. I know some of those are worth a little bit of money. Now, obviously, I don't know if that one's any good. I imagine it probably is, but we'll go ahead and pull that out of there. I bet I can find a home for that. And he got this mowed pretty good back here. Looking a lot better anyway. And then he hit a rock, a big rock, and it blew his motor up on his mower. Locked up tight, bent the shaft, and oh, it's messed up. But he said it was a $25 mower that he's had forever, and he's used it to mow a lot of yards for people, so it's made its money. I felt bad, so I gave him some parts off a couple cars that he needed out here, but this looks way better out here now that all this is mowed. I need a weed eater is what I need to come in here and knock all this down too. But all this rain we've been getting, of course, it poured down rain at my house. Didn't even sprinkle here last night, which is kind of weird. Just got another tractor in. This in here is something was cracked or blown up or something on it, so it's not much good. And then making pretty good progress in here inside the fence. I'll show you. I moved that crew cab out a little bit. I have a guy interested in buying the whole cab to strip it out. He said there's a bunch of crew cab parts on it that he needs, so he just wants to buy the whole cab. And then I can cut the nose off of it, and I can pull some emblems off of it, and I can sell the motor and probably the transmission out of it. Might be able to sell the rear end. The flatbed's just junk. But yeah, I should be able to get quite a bit of good stuff off of that yet. This 67 Ford, that's got a lot of good stuff on it, being a one-year only truck. They made the bump side for 6 years, 67 to 72. But a lot of this stuff on this truck, like these here, and there's a lot of other stuff on this that's 1 year only. And then the Suburban, no, it's not a 454 Suburban. Not sure what year this is. Once again, it's really, really rough, but we can cut the nose off of it. I'll see if there's any good dash parts. Might save the rear doors on it if they're still salvageable. They're a little bit rusty, but I don't know. I'll look at them better when I get it out. It's still got the rear seats in it. It's got a tilt column, which the windshield's all busted out, but it's been covered up by the Ford on top, so that might be something salvageable. It's got some rear door panels on it. I've sold these door panels before. For sure these back door panels are probably still worth saving. The chrome is, if nothing else. So yeah, I'll probably go ahead and save the rear doors. Front doors, probably not so much. Yeah, we blasted a hole right in here, so tomorrow I'm gonna come in here and I'll probably get those two in that crew cabin, just take them out of here, get them completely out. And then I'll come in here and kind of unstack these a little bit. And there's a street sweeper. Huh, like a small one. That's pretty cool. That'll make a fun crushing video when we get to that. Yeah, once I get this row here, I got these three, these two, and those two. That'll give me enough room to where I can swing around in here a little bit better and start getting some of these out. So hopefully by the end of this week, I'll have this corner completely cleaned out. I think it's just these cars right here, and then it's those bundles beyond those, I think. Could be off. Let's see here, can't see down there. Oh no, it looks like there's two more cars there, so one more stack, and then all the crushed bundles. So I don't even know what that is. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, probably 18, 19, 20, probably about 25 to 30 cars I got to get out of here before I have those bundles out. It's not bad at all. Got a bunch more ready to crush, and I think we have 8.5 loads on the ground right now, or 9 loads, or I can't remember now. I almost forgot to show you these. These turned out pretty good. Schmidt paint and vinyl. They cut out of there pretty good. I didn't realize I had these deals glued on the back side of them. We'll get those off with a razor knife. Yeah, they look pretty cool. If a guy just maybe drills a couple holes in them to hang them on the wall or whatever, I'll let somebody else do that. Whoever buys them can figure out how to hang them. There's no shows coming up for a while now, so I'll probably just put these on Marketplace, and if they don't sell locally, by the time a show does come around, I'll send them to Texas or somewhere else. Got a guy supposed to be here tomorrow to pick this up. I put it on Marketplace, partnered it out, and he said he wants to buy the whole thing. He needs a ton of parts off of it, so we agreed on a price, and then the old car up on top of the pile. It kind of cracks me up sitting up there. It's a piece of junk, but it's got that 9-inch, got a good looking trunk on the back of it that I can cut off of there. It's missing one taillight lens, but that's an easy find. Parked in 1976. So yeah, that'll make somebody a good couch or wall hanger or something. Then it's got a bunch of other odds and ends parts on it. And then I need the hood off of it as well. The front bumper's gone, so I can't make a wall hanger out of the front of it. The grill's really rough, but I have a really nice nose that has no hood. And these noses do not look good without a hood. So I'll be able to grab that hood off of there. It's rough, it's rusted out, but it's better than nothing. Probably some dash parts in it, and then after that, we can stick it in the machine. So that's the end of day 2 for this week. See you guys in the morning. Making progress. Looking pretty good out here once again. That box is full of aluminum wheels. They're going to be here in a little bit to get that, probably about an hour or so. So until it is empty, I don't want to pull any more wheels and have them all laying in the way. So I've been stacking all the cars with aluminum wheels over there by the fence. But I pretty well got everything crushed that was ready to crush. I got a few more left over here. There's a Focus, yeah, Focus SVT in the crusher, little 5-speed. Kind of a cool little car. You don't see those too often, but it's too late for it. There's been a handful of pretty rare vehicles in this pile. That Durango RT, there's that Daewoo over there. I forget what else there was. Oh, that Toyota van. You don't see those hardly ever anymore. Not that any of them are worth anything, but you know, they're somewhat rare. But I got these dug out a little bit better now so I can look them over. I was gonna take this truck off of here, but then I thought it's a pretty good chance of rain. It sprinkled earlier, but it's supposed to be a good chance of rain later. Well, that door doesn't open, but I didn't want everything in the dash to get rained on. Right now, it's still somewhat covered up. So I figured I'd leave it covered up for the time being. But yeah, we're making progress. We are almost back in here to the crushed bundles. Here's one of them here. I was looking, and the trunk of this car is clear full of just nuts and bolts and junk, and it's burnt. And so it's super rusty, and it's been sitting up here for a decade or whatever. And so all that stuff is falling out onto this car below it. So I'm gonna have to be really careful with this stack here. And I'm gonna try to just crush it all together. That way it doesn't make a mess. I'm hoping the car on the bottom is ready to go. It's a fire department practice car, so I'm guessing my dad got it ready before he sent it with them. The newest tag I found so far was there was that one Corsica or whatever it was that was right here. It had a 60-day tag on it that expired in 2017. And so, I mean, I'm guessing that's probably the newest. Everything else I found has been like 2015. I haven't seen any tags, actual tags, newer than like 2015. So I'm guessing that 60-day permit was probably a brand new permit when it got put on there. And so this is probably stacked in here late 2016, early 2017. Oh, this is a 1-ton. I just realized that. This is a 3500 single rear wheel. Huh, it's got some interesting hubcaps on it. Those might be something. But yeah, I'm gonna fire the loader back up and come in here and keep working on this. I'll probably go ahead and get these out of here, get this Jeep out of here, and that will enable me to circle around and start working on this here. I just noticed this. You can see the print of the exhaust and the floor pans, the engine cradle, the transmission pan off the Catalytic that was sitting here. Here's another one where you can see the whole print of everything. Okay, yeah, I just got sidetracked by all these little prints here on the ground. Let's get busy. I almost forgot to show you this tractor a little bit better. That tractor we got in earlier, he actually traded this one for it. Gave us a little bit of money on top of it. This one here runs and drives, but as you can see, it's completely busted out right there. Pretty well ruined this tractor. So he said, I don't feel like messing with it anymore. I'd rather just start over. And that other tractor needed way less work than this one did. So he kept his tires off of it. It had new tires on it, so he kept those. I said, that's fine. Traded it to us, so I'm probably just gonna go ahead and crush this one. I don't know, I may see if somebody's interested in it, but honestly, these Fords just don't bring nearly what they used to. I remember back in the day, one like this would bring $1,000, but nowhere near that anymore. And parts on these are worth almost nothing because you can buy all this stuff brand new. Like carburetors are 20 bucks brand new, manifolds 20, 30 bucks brand new. So I might save the fenders for art. I'll save the radiator for scrap. Might pull this off of it just because it's neat. Other than that, we'll make a crushing video. I'm gonna wait and see if he needs any other parts off of this to fix the one that he got from us before I do anything with it though. I'd hate to crush it today and find out he needs some little part tomorrow. He's a good guy, so I'll hang on to it for a little while for him. Let's see if I can get both of these at the same time. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. The brakes are rusted on almost every single one of these cars that's on the bottom. So sometimes they don't want to slide out of here. Next up, I've got this S10 Blazer up on top. I've got to get that down before I can get any more of these others out. I'm going to see if maybe I can grab it. Maybe. Whew. Tight fit. If I can't grab it, I want to see if I can just shove it forward and stick it on top of this Ranger. There we go. Okay, yeah, I just went ahead and shoved the back end of it over, put it up on top of that Ranger. Now I can keep pulling these out of the pile. You know what? I'm tired of tearing the ground out dragging these, so I'm just gonna go ahead, grab them one at a time. There we go. What's up with all these Chrysler minivans? Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth. The first one I think was a Chrysler, then there's a Dodge on top of a Plymouth. Looks like my dad's dropping another one off. I think he said this is a 2007, so it'll be the first year of this body style. Said it runs, but I mean, that Suburban over there, it runs perfect. I fired it up, but it's got 316,000 miles on it. Transmission's bad. I put it on Marketplace and on Facebook and a bunch of other pages for 300 bucks if they pull it, but so far I haven't had any interest. I might list this one, I might not. Because 5.3s are getting really, really hard to sell unless you have them out sitting on the ground ready to go. And I definitely don't have time to be pulling engines right now. There we go. Much, much smaller dumpster. I'll fill this one in no time, but they must be out of big ones. Oh well, I'll take what I can get and they'll swap it out a lot sooner than they would have. There goes a load of wheels. Yeah, I won't be able to get nearly as many in that dumpster. Well, I mean, it'll be close. This is like a 35 yard technically because it's the square bottom. 30 yard has the angled bottom on like that, which is great for, you know, little junk or dirt, rock, that sort of stuff, trash. But when you're doing aluminum wheels, that eats up a lot of space. So they tried to bring me the square bottom ones. He said they just didn't have any of those big 50 yarders. Here's another one that my dad dropped off earlier, runs and drives, but doesn't run good and it doesn't drive good. So they were just tired of dealing with it. So in the scrap it went. There we go. Yeah, I'll get that battery out. I got that battery there, all the stuff on top of it ripped off so I can get right to it. And then that truck my dad just dropped off, I was gonna just junk it because I mean, like I say, it's hard to sell 5.3s anymore, in this area at least. But it's a two-wheel drive, and I know a lot of the old hot rod type guys, they like these 5.3s with the two-wheel drive because they're easier to put in the old cars. The four-wheel drive transmissions are useless. But since this is two-wheel drive, it's only 215,000 miles, so quite a bit less miles than one like that over there. So should be quite a bit of life left in this one. And it was well taken care of. I was gonna shove these wheels in a car. These are off the tractor that I sold or traded, but I was looking at them and they're not rusted out. So, I mean, these aren't expensive wheels new, but they're not cheap either. So I may go ahead and list these for sale, give them one shot at least. With prices dropping, I'm not in a hurry to crush anything. That doesn't mean I won't crush everything, but I'm not necessarily in a hurry. So I'll give stuff a little bit more leeway than I normally would. But yeah, I got quite a bit of time left today, so I'm gonna get busy, keep crushing. And once again, we are done for the day. I'll be back out here one more day this week, and that's the day hopefully I can get those bundles in the corner dug out. Like I said, tomorrow, be at my yard. That's gonna be a separate video, probably on the second channel, more adventures made from scratch, but we will finish this video on Friday. The guy on this Toyota truck that was supposed to be here today, we messaged back and forth over and over again yesterday. He always responded to me right away, and we negotiated back and forth on price, and we finally worked out a price, and he said, mark it pending and send me the address. I'll be there tomorrow to get it. And so I did that. I sent him the address, never heard from him again. And I have messaged him over and over and over and over again today, and he hasn't even seen my messages. So I went ahead and marked it as available again, and instantly I got probably 15 messages from people saying how much for the whole truck. So I messaged everybody back and said 700 bucks, take it like it is. Don't know anything about it. The engine still turns, that's it. And almost every single one of them said, I'll take it, mark it pending, and send me the address. Almost exactly what the first guy did. And I thought, well, what in the world? And so I messaged them all back and said, nope, I'm not doing that. You send me the money, or at least half the money, and then I'll mark it pending. But I just thought, I mean, I don't understand what the point is of that scam. I mean, there's gotta be some sort of scam behind it. Why that? And there were all weird names that messaged me too. It wasn't just normal names. And so there's gotta be some sort of scam related to market pending and send me the address. I thought maybe they want to just get the address, that way they can come by your house and steal the car out of your driveway. I thought maybe that's what's going on. And of course, this is all locked up back here, but just to be safe, I went ahead and took that truck and put it up on top of the bundles. That way, if they come out here tonight to grab it and they see that there's a gate, maybe they're really crazy and they cut the gate open and come back here, They're not taking that truck. By the time they got that truck down, it would be completely destroyed and the cops would already be here from all the cameras and alarms going off. So I really don't know. It's such a weird deal. But I have a guy who wants the engine for $300. It's a 22R. It still turns. That's a really good deal. So I think I'm just going to sell him the engine. I'll probably pull a few dash parts, or have let pull a few dash parts out of it. It's just a 4-speed. It's not the 5-speed, so probably won't save the transmission, and I'll probably just go ahead and crush it. I had a few other vehicles I was going to list as parting out, but now I'm super paranoid about it. So I think rather than do that, I'm just going to go through, and if I feel like selling an individual part, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to crush it. It is so hard. Everybody's like, you need to sell parts. You need to sell this. You need to sell that. On and on. Unless you do this all the time, you have no clue the stuff you have to deal with to be able to sell these things. The amount of garbage you have to wade through to find one serious buyer for one part is just astronomical. I always tell people it's kind of like bobbing for apples in a porta potty at a music festival. It's just not something you want to do. But with that, I will see you guys in a couple days. Right back out here, we'll get those bundles dug out and keep on crushing. I guess it poured down rain here yesterday. It didn't even sprinkle where I was working yesterday out of my yard. Yeah, that's holding water there. This dries out pretty quick out here, but I see mud in front of the crusher too. You can tell it was holding water there. And then if you look, there's all this grass and twigs and stuff. That's all, you can tell the water was flowing. It was raining so hard. And it was all flows this direction. We're headed downhill slightly right now, but I mean, look at that. It must have really rained good. I got lucky. That bottom car is ready to go, so I don't have to take that burnt car off the top of it and make a mess. I can just leave them together. The bottom car is cut up though, so what I'll have to do is kind of just lightly crush them a little bit and then take them back out, crush something else, and then put them back on top of it. Looks like the converters are gone off of this one. Go. That car held together pretty good. I probably crushed it a little bit more than I should have. The bottom car almost folded on me, but I was real careful with it. We'll get this truck crushed down flat and I'll set them on top of this. There we go. If I can get it off the forks now, without a bed on this truck, it's at a really weird angle. There we go. But I've been needing some good beds to use as skids. And so when this Dodge came in yesterday, while my dad was here, I saw it sitting here this morning. I said, man, that's perfect. And I just dug a Chevy out of the pile that'll work good too. Let's see what happens. Oh no, the door's popping open. Don't do that. Oh, I didn't notice that. Oops. Oh well, it'll be alright. Regardless of whether this is a top or a bottom bundle, I may turn it around so this door slides in the dumpster without catching. Well, it looks like we finally made it up here in this corner. Start getting these bundles out of here. Crushed a bunch of cars today. I got a whole bunch of top bundles already crushed. And the reason why I crushed top bundles is because these bundles here, my dad crushed these bundles years ago back when we were still loading flatbeds, and we weren't loading these box trailers like we do now. And so in these days, we would put 3 stacks on the trailer. There'd be 2 bundles in the front, 1 bundle in the middle, and 2 bundles at the back. And the way we stacked them was just totally different. And also we could make the bundles a little bit taller. When I'm loading these box trailers, I can go higher. The issue is that then they're sticking out of the top of the box. And so technically we're supposed to wrap and chain when they're sticking up too high. And obviously that's not really an option. I mean, it is technically an option, but it's not a very easy or good or desirable option. So we try to avoid doing that as much as possible. So basically, long story short, is we have to keep these bundles when we're loading the box trailers roughly 1 car shorter than we would loading them on a flatbed. And the issue is when my dad crushed these bundles, as you can see, they're straight up and down. We didn't put the cars end to end because when you're putting them on a flatbed, you want to maximize the weight. You have to get that full 24, 25 tons on there, and the only way you can do that is with 3 stacks. Unless you're crushing big heavy cars, and then you can just do 2 stacks. But normally it took 3 stacks, took 5 bundles to do that. Whereas with these trailers, I only have to have about 18 or 19 tons. 20 tons is a heavy load. So doing it this way, we'll be fine on weight in the trailers, makes them a little bit shorter, so not over height. I could rip these bundles apart and crush them end to end, and then I could wind up actually putting probably 2 extra cars in every load, get a little bit more weight, but it's really not that big a deal. If we were going long distance, it would be a big deal, but like I've mentioned before, it's just like the shredder's like 45, 50 minutes from here, so it's really not a big deal I don't have to maximize the weight. And that's why I always tell people when they say I should get a baler instead of a crusher is, number one, balers are way more expensive, and we don't need to bale them. We don't need more weight in the trailers. And so it would be spending way more money to gain nothing. I'm losing a lot of water weight out of this one. Look at all that water pouring out of there. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the reason why I'm stacking them back here on the back side of the pile is because I really don't want to go any further towards the crusher with my bundles. When I started crushing, these prices were still pretty good, but I didn't expect everything to completely fall apart like they have. And so I wish I would have started stacking these bundles back a little bit further, but life goes on. We'll make do. I do have to remember to put all of these bundles backwards though, because I'm going to be grabbing them from the other side when I go to load them. So I had to make sure all the top bundles had everything facing the right way to where nothing's going to blow open or blow off. Not a real big deal to drive them around on the back side. I'm going to fill this whole fielded area, or this field area in with bundles probably, unless prices change. But I mean, I've got a lot of room to stack bundles back here. I've got probably 12 or 13 loads on the ground now, and it's in this little area, so I should be able to get at least 100 loads, maybe more than that, in this field back here. By then I'll have quite a bit of room inside the fence as well, and so I can start stacking bundles in there. So if I wind up having to stack 150, 200 loads on the ground, it's really not a big deal. But hopefully prices will recover before we get to that point and I can get back to shipping them again. The only issue I'm going to have is I did not have enough top bundles crushed for this many bottom bundles. And so either I'm going to have to, well, actually this one I'm grabbing now is kind of a short bundle and it'll work on top if I turn it around. So actually I can make this a top bundle. That's awesome. Yeah, that'll work good. Whoops, snag something. There we go. I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Oh man, I just ripped off half the bottom bundle. My dad stacked all these cut up cars. I wish he would have put something between them. Oh well, life goes on. I just made a giant mess with this one. Oh well, but yeah, I can make this a top bundle, and the one that was under it will be the bottom bundle, and so I can get rid of 2 more of these bundles over here, so I'll only have to crush 2 more top bundles, it looks like, to get rid of all these. I think we might be able to just put this roof back on that van. Put it back on there. If it was just like a small piece, I wouldn't do this because I'd be worried about it blowing back off. This is a pretty heavy chunk of metal right here, so I think it'll be all right here. Good as new. That'll make a good bottom bundle if I can get it out of here. It's kind of wedged in here, but I think we can get her. Looks like there's a swather in here as well. Boom, there it went. Yeah. Got it. Readjust a little bit. Perfect. Just like that. We have officially made it to the fence. The fence that's absolutely covered in poison ivy. There we go. I'm gonna grab one more out of there to put on top of that stack right there. You guys like my Fairlane up on top of my Galaxy, I mean? Well, I guess it's a Fairlane Galaxy is what it is, so I guess it's both. I didn't know where else to put it. I was scared I'd drop a car on it, so I just put it up on top. I'm gonna set these down real quick so Lev can keep pulling the aluminum wheels off of them. There we go. He got some of them off up in the pile, but he couldn't reach all of them. And they were up against each other, so he couldn't get the ones on the other side. Now he can get a bunch off of there. There we go. We are officially into the corner now. There's a bunch of junk laying on the ground back there. I'll show it to you here in a little bit if I have time. Laying down there on the ground, so I'll have to bring cars in here and set them by that for Lev to stuff it in them. It feels good to get this job done. My goal for this week was to get back there in that corner, and we accomplished it. There's a few other things I wanted to get done too that I didn't get done, but I mean, I only worked part of a day today. I only didn't start till 10. Yesterday I was at my yard, so all things considered, I feel like we got quite a bit done. It's looking like rain off in the distance. Hopefully it stays over there. I got about an hour left today. I really don't feel like working in the rain. I was looking at these, and this is just a 2-car bundle, so actually this will work as a top bundle once again. And the one that was underneath it, I'll use as the bottom bundle, so it'll actually work out pretty good. I don't have to crush any more bundles to get rid of these. So that'll put us at 13.5 loads on the ground, and I have 2 cars in the crusher smashed already, so almost 14 loads. I think I'll have time today to get that 14th load done. I just realized this is a 4-car bundle. That's why it's so heavy. I was like, man, this thing is a heavy one, but that's why. Got a medium car on the bottom and 3 small cars on top of it. I remember many times loading flatbeds, I'd have bundles so heavy I'd have to drive up to the trailer with the bundle real low, and then I'd have to kind of lift it up and goose it. My back end would start to come up, and I just kind of hit the gas real fast, and it would bring the back down, and I'd get it up on the truck, and then it would hit the trailer, and oh man, sometimes it was pretty scary. Loading these trailers, I have to lift them way up in the air to get them over the side, so I can't make those real heavy bundles anymore. Every now and then I still do on accident, and I don't enjoy that at all. Life is not fun. One time we had a bundle so heavy, we used to have a bunch of sealed compressors, sealed units, and we were shipping them to India in export containers, and all of a sudden the deal fell through, and we had about 10,000 pounds left over that we'd had nothing to do with. And so we started crushing them in cars. We made one bundle so heavy, we had to use both loaders to pick it up and load it on the truck. And that was back in the days before all the DOT and scales and everything was really picky and crazy like they are now, where they are really after you now. But back in those days, you could do pretty much whatever you wanted to do. And I think we loaded one of our regulars, and he went down to Texas. I believe, if I remember right, he was weighing somewhere around 92, 93,000 pounds. You can't get away with that anymore though. This one has one of those 8.8 disc brake limited slipper ends in it, but man, sitting down there in that dirt that rusts real bad, I don't even feel like messing with it. It's probably gonna be pretty corroded, and I wouldn't feel right selling that to somebody, so probably just go ahead and crush this one. If I find any in the pile that are up in the air though, I'll be sure to save those. I tell you what, when you're not looking for them, you sure do find them everywhere. Look at the size of that monster. That thing is huge. And then there's another one over here. Another really big one. Huh, that's funny. My dad took both of those that were growing here. He was wanting to try some earlier in the season, which was, I haven't gone mushroom hunting in over a week now. But anyway, he was wanting to try some, and I was supposed to save him some, and I forgot. And I either sold or ate everything I had. And so when I saw those, he was getting ready to leave. So I flagged him down. I said, hey, come check these out. So he took them with him so he can eat them tonight. Those are some big ones too. I can't believe they're just growing right here. There's been no trees in this area for a very, very long time. They just must have just randomly chosen to grow right there. I kind of hiked along the fence over there looking to see if I could find any. I didn't see any others. It was just those two. That's pretty wild. I didn't do any mushroom hunting at the junkyards this year, hardly. I probably should have. I just was so busy finding them elsewhere that I never made it around the junkyards. This is a mix of poison ivy and other ivy. I thought maybe I'd get lucky and find one or two for myself. I found one out at my place yesterday. I don't see anything back here. I think that was just a total fluke. Oh, we got a Lumina van. Alumina APV, the old fiberglass ones. I always hated crushing those things. They're not so bad now that we load the trailers, because you can just shove them in there. But when we were loading the flatbeds, you had to rip them all apart to make them look presentable. Come over here and then level this dirt out with the bucket. I kind of tore it up dragging these cars out of here, but now that all the cars are gone, I can level it out nice and neat, and I'm going to try to go that direction. I'm going to try to just blast a hole right through here, and I'm going to start working on making a road. Once I have that corner completely cleaned out, ones like these that I want to pull stuff off of, I can set them over there in that corner where they're out of the way, and that way whenever Lep or me has extra time, we can pull whatever parts I want to keep off of them. There's a handful of oldies over here, but I'm not going to go this direction yet. I'm going to focus on that direction over there, because the road I need to build kind of just goes straight in. I could make a winding road that goes back and forth, but I'd rather just focus all my efforts and just try to bulldoze straight that direction. It's crazy that I've crushed that many cars just to open this corner up. So it's coming along nicely, that is for sure. I really like seeing this corner open like this. It makes me feel good, makes me feel like I accomplished something. It's good to see progress after you haven't seen any progress or change out here for a decade. All of a sudden stuff starts happening. Who knows what else we'll find in this pile. I have found multiple unexpected things. I'm sure there's gonna be more good stuff in here. I haven't saved a whole lot. I've been trying to be kind of somewhat picky. This van here, yeah, it's got an instrument cluster I'll probably save. Somebody already got all the lights out of it. Honestly, I probably did that years ago. Beyond that, I don't really think there's anything good on here. Look at this pink interior. Can you imagine driving this thing? I mean, it's pink on pink. And I don't think it's faded. I mean, it's faded a little bit, but even the places that didn't catch the sun, like up here where this visor was covering it, that's kind of pink. I'm sure there's a different word for it, magenta or something like that, but it's pink. But with that, I guess this video is done. I had a ton of fun making this one. It took me all week to make it, but we got her done. I don't know that I'm going to keep doing these compilation videos where I record every day for a whole week. They're a lot of work to edit, but I mean, I might, I don't know. Or I might do more specific videos going forward out of this yard, like whenever I find something interesting like that street sweeper, I will definitely make a video about crushing that thing. I'll make a mix of long videos, make a mix of short videos, everything in between. I've been kind of looking through the cars a little bit, thinking maybe I could do a treasure hunt, but I have found nothing more than a few pennies. And so I just don't see good enough stuff to do an actual treasure hunt. But maybe once we get further into the pile where we're not right on the edge, maybe I'll find better stuff. If I see a car that has cool stuff in it, I'll just stop, get the camera out, and go ahead and record it. But who knows? Plus there's some auctions coming up, a bunch of other stuff coming up, so stay tuned to both channels, a bunch of stuff on the second channel as well. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Remember to get out there, find yourself an adventure. Well, I just checked the radar, and the storm off that direction is building, and it is headed directly towards me. So I think I better hurry up and get everything put in the truck, get the loader locked up, and actually I guess I can just leave the loader right here. Good a spot as any. Lock her up, get the converters gathered up, get in the truck, get out of here, get the gate locked. Hopefully I can get it all done in the next 20 minutes, because that's about when it's expected to start raining. Looks like I locked the gate just in time. It just started sprinkling as I got back in the truck. So let's get out of here. It's probably going to pour down rain on me on the way home, but that's okay. I need a wash anyway.